Now, people at the vaccination superstation at Petco Park were turned away today after 6 people there had allergic reactions to the Moderna vaccine.
It was the clustering of individuals having apparent allergic reactions that, in an abundance of caution, they slowed things down to be able to address.
County health officials said it was surprising to have that many reactions within a certain time period. So to be safe, the lot number of those vaccines, basically that was pulled from distribution. It's not clear what kind of side effects the people were feeling, but the county says it's expected to happen for any type of mass vaccination process, maybe just not such in a short time as it expected. Well, NBC7's Dave Summers spoke with one of those 6 people who did experience an allergic reaction today. Deanna Canizo is at home tonight after a 4-hour hospital stay. She tells NBC7 she has had severe allergic reactions to other medications in the past, but never a vaccine.
How do you feel about the whole experience?
I'm still very unsure about it. I don't think I'm going to be getting the second dose because I can't go through that again. I've gotten vaccines my whole life. I just got the flu vaccine, so I didn't think that there would be any issue. I have no idea what it looked like, but the second I said something about my ear, they all sprung into action, and they grabbed an EpiPen and they took me from the area where I was sitting at onto a gurney.
Seems like a very traumatic result.
A nurse is vaccinated, but just minutes later, this happens.
I'm sorry.
Tiffany Doe. Jean Marie Naser is a nurse in Boca Raton who says she is not getting a vaccine for COVID.
I've looked at the science, I've studied what they have put forth in their studies and their warnings, their precautions, and the side effects, and I am not comfortable to say that this is something that would be safe for myself.
She says she found the information provided by Pfizer and available on the FDA's website.
A volunteer in the trial of the COVID-19 vaccine being developed by AstraZeneca and Oxford University has died in Brazil. Brazil's health authority said on Wednesday that although the volunteer had died, the trial would continue.
But don't look for Karen Kane at the pharmacy when the COVID-19 vaccine becomes available. Kane is an anti-vaxxer. Her daughter Lauren lived with daily, debilitating seizures for 15 years after receiving a bad DPT vaccine.
There are typically 2 things that they review. They review the effectiveness of the study, which we talked about, and then they review the safety profile of the study. And remember that the safety profile, as I said, will continue to be evaluated way after the emergency use authorization was actually released. They presented data using about 36,000 of the participants who were in the study, and the reason that they were only able to give data for 36,000, these are the 36,000 that now have had 2 months pass since the second dose was actually administered. Because we believe that if we're going to see any other safety issues, it generally has to take a little bit of time for us to be able to see that. So the FDA requires these manufacturers to present at least 2 months worth of data for us to be able to say whether they're safe. And within those 2 months, for those 36,000 individuals, we saw very little in terms of severe reactions and almost negligible serious adverse reactions. In fact, most of the reactions tend to happen fairly early, very much like other vaccines. You will have a local reaction.
You're looking at video of Sandra Lindsay, an intensive care nurse receiving the first vaccination at Long Island Jewish Medical Center in New York.
The U.S. began vaccinating the population against the coronavirus in December of 2020. The goal is to get the COVID vaccine to every person in the U.S. who wants one, but survey data shows that nearly 40% of the U.S. population doesn't want it. Widespread mistrust might have something to do with the fact that if anything goes wrong with the vaccine, the drug makers that produce them aren't responsible.
This is remarkable. When your body breaks you down, medication steps in to lift you up. If you have issues with minor irritation, occasional muscle extension, or a general unhappiness with your physical form, then medication is the key for you. Those who have a history of breathing, walking, and functioning as a Homo sapien may respond negatively to medication. Side effects may include low blood pressure and liver dysfunction,
Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. In patients with depression, worsening of depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately.
Don't drive or operate machinery until you feel fully awake. Walking, eating, driving, or engaging in other activities while asleep without remembering it the next day have been reported. Abnormal behaviors may include aggressiveness, agitation, hallucinations, or confusion. In depressed patients, worsening of depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. Alcohol may increase these risks. Allergic reactions such as tongue or throat swelling occur rarely and may be fatal. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, dizziness, and morning drowsiness. Ask your doctor.
Pardon the pun, what we're going through, so we all have to be at our best and we all have to stand up to this and we have to resist. We have to stand up for our rights, and we have to take this on full on. It's grab the bull by the horns. They're going to come, they're going to try to vaccinate everybody, is what they're going to do. So, and again, it could be that the first round might not have anything. It might just be a whole theatrical thing. But they as they're telling you, you're getting the second one 3 weeks later. So anybody that gets vaccinated, think it's one and done, forget about it. And Bill Gates has come out and said, we'll probably have to do multiple vaccinations, every month, sort of thing. So, they're basically telling you you're going to live in a vax world where everywhere you go, you're just going to be having yourself injected with what